The other thing that comes to mind is healthcare, right? So, what role do you think healthcare costs play in retirement that people often overlook?
So whenever I do seminars for both financial professionals and clients, I ask the question, there's one mandatory expense in retirement. Can anyone tell me what it is? And without fail, the answer always comes back taxes. It's not taxes. You do not have to pay taxes in retirement if you plan differently. Now, again, 99.9% of people will pay taxes, but it's not mandatory. The one mandatory expense you have in retirement is healthcare. It's Medicare. Because if you want your Social Security check, you have to enroll in Medicare. If we're looking historically at the increasing costs of Medicare versus the cost of living adjustment that's getting added to your Social Security check, your Social Security check is never going up. Now, there is this thing called the Hold Harmless Act, which says your Social Security check cannot be decreased based on Part B increases. So if your increase is 6%, cost of living is only 3, you don't have to eat the 3% loss. But that's only for Part B. That does not factor in IRMAA, and it does not factor in Part D. And Part D, if you look at those increases, are very, very high. And you ask people about IRMAA, 99% of people have no idea what IRMAA is.
Well,
Most advisors don't know what
that's kind of my point, is that a lot of advisors have no idea what impacts IRMAA, how it goes up, how they save money. Like that's a conversation that I've heard pretty often, especially when people come, to us as an independent financial firm compared to like a corporate advisor. And they're like, why did nobody tell me this? I can't speak for them. I don't know. Like
Yeah,
that.
I can. I'll tell you exactly why they don't speak to it. Because if they spoke to it, they'd have to admit that they were wrong. It would have to admit that's the mea culpa that nobody wants to take. They have to admit they were wrong this entire time. If you're 55 years old and you have $2.5 million in qualified money, and now you go to your financial advisor and he says, "Oh, by the way, there's this thing called IRMAA, and you're going to get slammed with it." What's the question they're going to ask? They're going to ask, "Then why did I put $2.5 million into an account that is going to do this for me?" And the advisor's not going to have an answer. Now, the answer is simple. The answer is, when I told you to do this, it was sound advice. The government changed the rules. That was a conversation they could have had 7, 8, 9 years ago.
The good thing is even that for that 55-year-old client, there is, we're talking about a good, 15 years of time to transition this money and make it cost effective.
Absolutely. So
Absolutely.
going back to that 5, 15, and 20 example that I was giving earlier, when we talk about IRMAA and I explain what IRMAA is to people and they've never heard of it, and I show them the additional costs and the impact it has on them, I go back to the 5, 15, and 20 board and I say, "Oh, by the way, everything at 15 and 20 counts towards this. Look at where you're saving your money." Do you think the government knows what they're doing?
Oh, they definitely do.
Yeah, they're playing 3D chess and the financial industry is playing checkers.